Hello, my name is Brody, and today I'm going to be sharing a little bit about my journey with Team Kids. So I started at Team Kids at our first ever before and after school care program in Elwood as an educator. It was just a job while I was finishing uni. I was studying teaching and I was in my final year, and I thought it would be a perfect way to get a little bit of experience. And I absolutely loved it. It was perfect. I really enjoyed it. I did that for a term, and then the next term I moved into a 2IC role at Elwood again and learned under one of our really experienced directors, Liz, and she taught me everything about the role, and again, really enjoyed it. So when I finished my studies at the end of the year, I decided not to go straight into teaching, and I decided to apply for a director of service role at Team Kids, which I was fortunate enough to receive. And I spent 2 years directing Dingley Primary School. I was originally only going to do it for maybe a year and see how I felt after that, but I loved the role so much that it was a bit of a no-brainer to stay. There were probably two defining moments that really, I suppose, concreted my idea of staying at Team Kids and continuing my career here. And the first one was we had an excursion with a group of kids, and one of the children was from a foster care background. So he'd had a pretty rough upbringing. I think he was 5 or 6 years old, and we went on the Melbourne Star, the big Ferris wheel, and I'll never forget his face. He was pressed up against the barrier to inside one of the little cubes on the Melbourne Star, and we were just about up to the top, and the look on his face was he was just mesmerized by the view of the city. And he ended up saying, he wasn't talking to anyone, he was just kind of whispering to himself, but he said, I can see the whole world from here. And to witness that was just knocks you back a bit and gives you a bit of perspective, I suppose. So that really cemented for me the impact that we can have with the kids. And then another key moment was when I had a kitchen council visit, and the lady wasn't the nicest lady of all time, and I was feeling pretty average about it because she just was a little bit unnecessarily mean. And that night I ended up getting 3 or 4 calls from different people at head office asking me how I went. Hey, I heard you had a bit of a rough afternoon. And for me, I just thought that was absolutely incredible. So the level of support within the company is what is just fascinating, and that's what most people end up saying after they've been employed with us for a little bit of time, is they just can't believe the support, and I'm definitely in that boat. So when the opportunity came to apply for an area manager position, 2 years after 2 years of directing a service, I thought it was time that I could maybe pay back some of that support, and I've been, again, really fortunate in getting that role, and now my role is purely to support the directors of service, and it's something that I'm really passionate about, getting the best out of people and trying to help them through their day-to-day, some challenges or finding their strengths, and just being there with them for the journey. And I feel like I can finally repay a little bit of what I received in terms of the support and all of the guidance that I got in the director, educator, and 2IC roles. So again, absolutely loving it, and it is a fantastic company to work for. It's a company that doesn't just use their values for a catchy catchphrase in a sales pitch. We live by them. It's in every meeting. It's in every service, and the way that the company focuses on building the relationships with the kids, with the families, with the school communities is something that I personally believe is really important, and that's why I have loved working at Team